book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3, KJV. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yet also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Wahara Kakwadash, for honors of the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some look like the heathen. Beginning with the 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. Yeah, and again, we're at the end, and these prophets are speaking. They're no longer tarrying. It's right in our eyes. This AI system is being signed into law. Moves are being made. And you got states trying to save the dollar, going into that cash law 2025, which eventually cash is going to be obsolete. Everything's going to be digital. And you're going to have to use the MOTB, which is the device on either hand or forehead, to buy or sell. All right? While these other groups outside of Great Millstone, not Great Millstone, but outside of Great Millstone, the groups outside of Great Millstone are teaching Gentiles to be saved, switching the doctrine up, falling out of the truth. But really, they're getting kicked out of the truth, because Yahweh Shemash ain't dealing with them. You don't want them. They serve their purpose. Just teaching, they're teaching false doctrine. They're not getting on the other camps when they're wrong. They're playing around. They're doing debates for money. All right, and that's what's going on in the Hebrew Israelite community, man. Hey, you got people hating against the Israelites. They saying, man, there's all manner of things out there, man. All right. And concerning Esau's end, he got all these distractions. The Epstein file still. Man, there's just so much going on, chaos, causing things to happen, and following up with laws, okay, to combat crime and terror attacks and things of that nature. Right? So, and in the meanwhile, while people are distracted, Trump signs executive order launching AI initiative being prepared to the Manhattan Project. You see? So, and this AI initiative, this AI executive order, it's called the Genesis Mission. All right? So as we read in Habakkuk 2 and 5, yeah, he also transgresses by wine. The wine is going into your philosophy, man, your way. All right? And this is the last doctrine that Esau can use to deceive the people, man. Why? Because people are going to be, people are being broken down. Their livelihoods are being taken away, their money, their jobs, their resources, they're losing everything. So this is going to be a new way, a digital way, a new beast system, a new world order system. All right? And it's going to cause people to transgress, meaning sin, by his way, his doctrine, his new way, his new world order. Because when you take the MOTB, bye-bye privacy, you're no longer a human. If you're an Israelite, there goes your salvation. And anyone who takes it, you're going to receive cancer sores, right? You're not going to be able to control your thoughts, your minds, your behavior. It's going to be over for you. And you will be burned alive in World War III in the return of our Lord Yahushua. All right? And the same thing went on during the Babylonian Empire, right? When Nebuchadnezzar told everybody that they're going to have to bow the knee. All right? So you got certain states. So you got states that's trying to make up their own AI laws. But Trump is like, hold on, wait a minute. This will be one federal regulation. One set of rules for everybody. All right? But let's read this Habakkuk 2 and 5 again. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So all nations, peoples, and tongues, states, are going to be under one rule, man. All right? Under one rule. And you get that Daniel, is it 2? Let's see. Is it 2? Was it 4? No, it's right here, 3. The water how much small shot. It's Daniel 3 and 2. It says, Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather together the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors. Matter of fact, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces, states, were gathered together unto the dedication of the image of Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and tongues. And we just read it in Habakkuk 2. Hey, it's going into the same thing as Revelation 13 and 15. See, this isn't new. Now, this digital system is new, but how things are being brought into play is not new. Everyone is going to be commanded to get along. It's going to be law. All right? So these states, provinces, these states are all eventually going to be under one rule, one order, one law. And it's a federal guideline, not state guidelines. In other words, your laws aren't going to be separate. You're not going to be separate. No, you're going to be under the order of the feds, meaning everybody's going to be on the same page. It says that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning, fiery furnace. You see? So, if you think these all 50 states not going to be a part of it, something wrong with you. All right, this digital system is here, man. Think about it. If they signing these executive orders now, that means the system is already in place for the rollout. So they're just signing, causing things to happen so they can sign these things into law and push them forward. It's already here. Remember 2030 and 2035. No, man, it's here. It's here. Everything is already set up. All right. That's what the 5G system is for. That's what the stuff that you went along with in 2020 that's inside you now is for. That's what the MOTB is for. That's what the digital currency is for. And cash been obsolete. Remember, you can't track cash. Remember, man, Esau wants your soul. Esau wants to be in control. Esau wants to be omnipresent, man. All right? Omnipotent, all power, all seeing. He wants to be omnipresent, all knowing. He wants to be everywhere. And the only way he can be everywhere is by tracking and tracing you, man, through this digital system. Now, let's let this play. Again, Trump signs executive order launching all initiative being compared to the Manhattan Project.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order establishing the Genesis Mission, which is a federal initiative to accelerate American artificial intelligence research, development, and scientific applications. The program aims to expand computational resources, centralize access to federal data sets, and apply AI to critical scientific challenges, including advanced manufacturing, biotechnology, and nuclear energy. Michael Kratsios will lead the effort, while the Department of Energy will create the, quote, American Science and Security Platform to support AI research and public-private partnerships. The initiative builds on the National Artificial Intelligence Research Resource, which brings together federal agencies and private companies to advance AI infrastructure and innovation, NBC News has reported. Recent actions, such as partnerships with AMD and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise to expand supercomputing capacity, underscored the administration's push to maintain U.S. leadership in artificial intelligence.
There you have it. Like you said, they're doing it to accelerate, meaning speed up. All right? Remember, these devils got a short time, so they're moving with great wrath. So things are being set up so they can implement these laws, man. All right? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to turn this around. That Revelation 12 and 12. Man, goddamn. Hold on, y'all. All right. Yeah. Let's get this other video. Take that off.
In a social media post earlier this week, the president...
This video is called Trump Considers Order to Override State Regulations on Artificial Intelligence. All right? So, there's no being a separatist here. I'm going to move to this state because these laws are better. No. And we here, man. All right, so if you're not teaching that the MOTB is the mark of the beast, and this digital system is here, and hey, you took the bag. Ain't nowhere in the hell you could be blinded to the fact. Ain't nowhere in the hell you took the bag. Now, how about Shamash? I can't blame, but y'all niggas took the bag. Only ones who teach the correct doctrine that I know of are the great millstone, man. And the men that teach the likewise doctrine. All right? Which they learn from the great millstone, the elders of the great millstone. The elder bishops and the big brothers. When I say elders, the elder bishops are included too.
The White House is reportedly drafting an executive order that would override state regulations on artificial intelligence. The order would establish a task force inside the Justice Department to sue and potentially withhold federal funding from states that pass their own AI laws. In a social media post earlier this week, the president wrote, quote, "We must have one federal standard instead of a patchwork of 50 state regulatory regimes. If we don't, then China will easily catch us in the AI race." Joining us now to break it all down is veteran tech journalist Jacob Ward, founder of The Rip Current. Jake, it's always good to see you.
Jeff, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Sure. So as first reported by the Washington Post, this draft executive order specifically targets new AI laws in Colorado and California. What do these laws actually do? What argument do the states make that they are even necessary?
Well, I think the first argument here, Jeff, is that these are absolutely the only laws we have. There are no federal regulations around AI at the moment, and so the states have stepped in, right? There's that famous saying that the states are the laboratory of law, and that is absolutely what's been happening here. So, in a place like, let's say, Colorado, nearly 6 million people there are protected against discrimination that might come through AI when it comes to employment or housing or job applications, health insurance, all of that stuff. In California, we have a very robust law here that's just been signed by the governor that essentially says that we get to look inside the security and safety protocols of these companies, and big protections are extended to whistleblowers. These are the kinds of things that you would imagine that would be a federal law, but in the absence of that, the states have had to get involved here. And, for some reason, suddenly now we're in a position where the federal government, without really proposing any kind of replacement for these laws, is saying that these laws can't stand, Jeff.
Well, let's talk more about the why, because we have seen a number of top tech executives from NVIDIA, from Google, and Apple have regular access to the White House. Based on your reporting, is this reflective of their wishes? I mean, how much influence do these companies have in shaping AI policy?
Well, I think there's no doubt here that these companies forever have wanted there to be a federal standard so that they don't have to deal with a patchwork of state laws. We also can draw some sort of connective tissue here between, these being the companies that, whose heads have attended the inauguration, have been at a state dinner with Mohammed bin Salman recently, and who have contributed money to the renovation of the White House ballroom. Certainly what no one is responding to here is public sentiment. Not only did the last effort to put this kind of moratorium into a bill in front of Congress go down in flames, 99-1, but Americans don't feel this way. A Gallup poll that came out in September found that 80% of U.S. adults believe the government should maintain rules for AI safety and data security, even if it means developing AI capabilities more slowly, which flies right in the face of what President Trump is arguing here in this leaked memo obtained by all of these outlets, that somehow will fall behind China, and it's as a result worth doing away with the laws that we have here, Jeff.
What President Trump is arguing and what Elon Musk is predicting. Elon Musk said something, as you well know, this week that raised a lot of eyebrows. He predicted that with AI advances, work will eventually become optional. For a lot of people, that's not exciting. That's terrifying. That the average American could be replaced by any number of, robots, and the corporations are all just focused on the productivity.
Yeah, the rhetoric that you hear from the leaders of these companies really is quite ideological. They really seem to have this kind of faith-based idea that on the far side of a huge amount of disruption is going to come this utopia in which we are all suddenly, doing watercolors in our gardens. What I think we've seen over the course of American history is that we don't tend to like to pay people to make watercolors in their gardens. We tend to like to pay people for work. And one way to look at what Musk is saying here is the idea that, we won't have to work, but the practical effect, as we've heard from the heads of these companies, could truly be widespread displacement in jobs. Dario Amodei, the head of Anthropic, has said in the same sentence that we might cure cancer, we might balance the budget, but we also might have 20% unemployment. That's the kind of thing that could be happening here. And so if you believe, as these heads of the companies seem to, that there's a utopia on the far side of this that's going to make it all worth it, then okay. But I think economists and historians would tell you that this is going in a different direction, Jeff.
20% unemployment, possibly. All right, Jacob Ward, always great to see you with the Rip Current.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
You will own nothing and be happy. See, they're painting a picture like this AI is the best, the next best thing, man, and it's going to help you. So, I don't got to work. Universal basic income, social credit score. Hey, that's going to break you down. Okay. But hey, we here, and as we read in Habakkuk 2:5, His desire is as hell, and he is as death and cannot be satisfied. So if you think this new system, AI system, is going to be for your benefit, you are sadly mistaken. Read Revelation 16:2, going into how you're going to receive cancers and sores. All right, and that's before the destruction. All right. Read Revelation 14, starting at the 9th verse, and read down. That's going to how you're going to be destroyed for taking it. Read Revelation 19. That also goes into that you're going to be destroyed for taking it, for being deceived into taking it. But hey, they moving, man. We here. Stay prayed for the next day. How about Shema? Shalom.